My name is James Williams Jr., and I have to start this video all over again because I was interrupted rudely and I didn't appreciate it. So, I was talking about remastering the Mass Effect games for the current systems or whatever, and the first thing I said, because people were talking about they were remastering on the, if you watch enough of me, you know that I watch all these Andromeda nerds and all these other sites and sightings and stuff. I can't really identify which one said it because there's just so many Mass Effect fans out here. They said they wanted to remaster the game, and people actually liked the combat in the first game more than they liked the second game and the third game. I don't think so. The first game, I hated the combat because that fucking gun overheating shit. The only good thing about the first game was you could get different armors like randomly, but you had to you had to be able to be a certain type of class to wear a certain armor or body weight or whatever. Glad they got rid of that shit, but the armor was best in the first game because now the armor in the second and third game, basically it looks cool, but it looks like crap too. The only thing I hated about the first game is that you didn't have other outfits that you could wear as Shepard. And the only thing I hate about all the games is that up until the third game, you couldn't wear your outfits off the Normandy. You could only wear the armor off the Normandy. When you were on the Normandy, you were in your regular uniform, but you weren't anyway. Back on track. So they're talking about remastering the games, and they were complaining about they didn't like the thermal clip thing. I was like, I love the thermal clip because at least then you don't have to worry about your gun overheating. When you're out of ammo, you get a new clip. Real life, when you're out of ammo, you get a new magazine. Where in the future, if your gun overheats, you die. I was in a fight with Saren once, and my gun overheated. It was the first time I played the very first game. Mind you, I had beaten the second and the third game like 100 and some times before I bought the trilogy. And then I sit there and I was fighting the hell out of Saren, and he was like a half a red line away, like not even half. He was like so close to dying. My damn gun overheated, and he shot me, and I died, and I had to start all over again at that battle spot. And then it took me like an hour. I had been fighting him. It was like first time fighting him, so it wasn't gonna take an hour. It was only gonna take maybe 15 minutes, and it took 15 minutes. And in that last minute, beep 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 beep, damn gun overheated. Saren killed me, and I had to start all over again from when he falls through the thing. When you pick up from right there where you start fighting. If you beat the game and you try to run it again in the PlayStation, you can't run it all the way over again because when you go back and you reload the last guy that you use, it starts right back at the beginning, but not at the beginning of the game. So you can't do like in number 2 and number 3, where you can play the same character and run it back and do more stuff to build up your stuff. You can't do that in the first game for the PlayStation. I can't say nothing about the Xbox or the whatever system it's for because you could probably do it on that, but for the PlayStation 3, couldn't do it. So anyway, as I was saying, um, they were bitching about the combat in there. And I was like, well, the combat in 2, the only thing the combat in 2 needed was that damn Omni Blade. If you could have the Omni Blade in game 2, because to me, 2 was the best game. 3 was okay, but 3, you really get fucked on the endings. And I was like, there's not a fifth ending. There should have been. They should have been the endings that was promised, regardless of the leakage, should have been held up. Everybody was expecting yay so many endings, and of course, it came to the PlayStation 3 late, where when it was like over and done with. By the time it got to the PlayStation 3, everybody had already pretty much got over it, except for us people who play PlayStations, and we're all like, God, we thought that they would have changed that because it was such a big clusterfuck of stuff. Well, apparently they didn't, and these things happen all the time. So they were thinking about remastering it, and I only have one suggestion if you're gonna remaster it: make it like a director's cut, and make all 3 games a director's cut. Get rid of those endings. Get the endings that we were initially promised in, and you will make more sales. For people like me who have the PlayStation 4, I'll damn sure buy the whole saga again for the PlayStation 4, providing that those four endings they gave us the finger are like not there, and that there's a fucking boss battle, like in when you first like in 3 when you first fight the Reaper on Tachanka, or better yet when you really fight the Reaper like the one on Rannoch. Because when you fought the Reaper on Tachanka, you really didn't do anything. It was really the Thresher Maws. You just hit these damn buttons. But when you fought that Reaper on Tachanka, you really fought the Reaper on Tachanka. So you should be able to have a boss battle with Harbinger. That's the way I see it. I'm pretty sure no one would disagree with me. Shepard and Harbinger should battle it out on the streets of London in the last spot instead of having him battle it out on Citadel, because I don't think Harbinger can fit in the Citadel. But if he can fit in the Citadel, well, that's the perfect place. Battle it out in the Citadel. Shepard has beaten the Reaper. Granted, he got help from the Quarian fleet and the Normandy, but he still technically, or she, beat the fucking Reaper on Rannoch. Drop a thresher ball on that bastard. Problem solved. But those are four crappy endings. I can't really say they was crappy because I've done them all, but I didn't like any of them. I will say I like the ending where you unfortunately kill all the synthetic life, where you shoot the red column instead of the blue column, and I do like the ending where you create synthesis. But Shepard does not survive that. The only possible way Shepard survives that is if the clone knocked him out the way and dives through the beam herself or himself. Yeah, we don't have that happening. Parallel universe maybe, alternate timeline maybe. But when Shepard goes to the beam, he or she, depending on which one you use, is completely nullified. So there's no way in hell that Shepard survives that. And then with the red ending, Shepard takes a breath. So you don't know if it's his relief breath or his very last breath. So they changed those endings and remastered it for the PS4. They have a customer right here, or at least you don't even have to change it. You can leave them, but add more. Give us more choices. Give us one big boss battle like we were promised. Hey, shit's good to go. But I'm only speaking for myself. So as I close out, because I'm about to watch another Commander Shepard thing from a very pretty brunette chick. I have no idea what her name is, but I like her, so I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm going to bed. Um, I think on the for real, if they redo it and they give you in each game they give you threes combat, so you can at least have the Omni Blade in game one, so you don't always have to rely on a damn weapon because it always overheated. Because if you always had an Omni Blade, I mean, I could have stabbed the living hell out of some Krogans, man, and everyone else. Because I love using the Omni Blade. I love it. I love the, we're going to call it the combat kill, because Shepard's not a ninja. But in most ninja games, it would be considered the ninja kill, where you squat down and the fist pops up and you snatch them over and you stab them with the Omni Blade. Yeah, I like that. So if you could have done that in the first game, just imagine how many people would actually be cheering for that. I know I'm not the only fan of the Omni Blade. Come on, people, don't boss me like that. But anyway, I think that if they remaster it, they should give you threes combat in all three games and lose that weapon overheating crap and stick with the thermal clips. The thermal clips are much better than your weapon overheating. As a soldier, I understand this, and other soldiers will tell you that if you shoot the 240 Bravo, no, wait a minute. If you shoot the Saw or the Bravo, their barrels heat up and it'll warp the bullet, so you have to change the barrel. So who wants to go through that in the middle of a fucking firefight? No one. In real life, no one wants to be the guy that has to carry the barrel for the guy operating the saw. While I was in boot camp, they were gonna Drill Sergeant White was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make James carry the saw," and I was like, "No, I don't want the saw." He's like, "Well," I was like, "That's a big gun, man. I ain't but how 5'3". And then in Delta, they were like, "Yeah, we usually set the little guys with the big, heaviest weapons. It's like, no, thank you. I'll take a pass on that. But yeah, you know, in real life, in real combat, the last thing you need is for your weapon to overheat when something as big as a rhinoceros is running right at you. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. This is 10 minutes and 25 seconds of your life that you can't get back from the actor you have never heard of, never met, and probably never will, because I haven't been discovered yet. Be seeing ya.